Ecco, the best part we missed. The best part. You know what? Everyone is a host now. It's fine. Good. Okay. So everything was really starting from the gratitude. I mean, this year has been a very different year for all of us, right? I guess for different reasons, and we've been talking left, right, and center how as well this 2020 has been such a gift in so many different ways. And I just mute people. Yeah, no, okay, no, it's fine. So, and for me, especially, it's been a year of um, discovering and have the courage of truly choosing what was right for me, what was working the best for me. And one of the things about discovering was choosing truly for me has been one of the most uncomfortable things I ever came across in my life. Because I had literally to um, not including anyone. I had to include just myself in this 2020. And I'm very much grateful because I realized how much I was still stuck in the judgment or in um, I was still stuck a lot in the judgment and in what I had to be to please others, to please people working with me, to please my job, to please my family, to please my daughter, to please my partner. And then with this 2020, and when the word was ending, quote unquote, it wasn't ending, it was shutting down, and I chose to leave Europe to come to Australia in 10 hours, I had to make that choice. That choice created so much more for me. But it's also like this being uncomfortable and truly coming through. Um, when we talk about in Access about the 5 elements of intimacy and being the 5 elements with yourself, basically, I've been forcing myself to be that. Truly, not just half and half, or sometimes, yes, I have them written in my mirror. I remember here and there, like truly be willing to don't have it right anymore. So don't have it right anymore. What does it mean being the 5 elements of intimacy with yourself? Don't have it right anymore to what is right, what is truly being you, what is truly choosing for you. And before coming in the Zoom, I was like, you know what? I want to actually thanks everyone to have been with me in this year, and we've been creating together about what I'm going to talking about. It's funny, you never know what you're going to talk about, but it's truly like, and one of the things that came up when I was putting my lipstick on, I was, it was truly this rightness that we actually went across in the last 2 years about being willing to look at where we are constantly want to be right. And lately, a few months ago, there was this big concert in Access Consciousness about the righteousnesses. Is it correct? Righteousness? It's so funny when you are not English. Some words don't even make sense. Doesn't matter, and it's even better because they don't have to have sense. And I was like, how, and how during the 2020, especially, I had really to, like, for me, it's been really this looking at all the areas that I've been forcing myself to be righteous. Even wasn't even a choice. Was a choice, but was more like something that I was used to be. And also this morning, I was like, also when I brush my teeth or when I make my coffee, but one of the main thing, I became aware of much more of other people's reality of, you know, in this moment of time when everyone is looking for a solution, everyone is looking for an answer, everyone is looking for, we want to give you the best news, you will be fine next year, or things will be better, or things will be even worse than what they are, whatever anyone is saying. There is a righteousness in what they are being and doing. So one of the things I like to share with you, invite with you, what if, first of all, let's be grateful for everything that came up on 2020, no matter what it is. What if we can put such amount of gratitude for the year that we are still on it, that we like a massive amount of that gratitude and that we never experienced before. Gratitude is a play, gratitude is an energy that really creates the future, create your future. And everywhere you add gratitude, there is no judgment. Judgment and gratitude can't live together. So even if you, most of all, gratitude for you, okay, guys, because you can, I know you might be putting gratitude for anyone else. And then when it's come to you, you will just come up with some of the judgment. Yes, but if I would have done this, no. What if truly we can and like complete this 2020 with so much gratitude that we never experienced before. And every time something comes up in our face that might be wrong of us, might be wrong for other people, or other circumstances, or our money situation, or anything, our body, anything, just ask what I'm grateful here. And it's interesting because when I don't know if you notice, when I ask, what if we pulls mass amount of gratitude into 2020? As soon as I ask, that happened. There is no anything that you need to do that is so difficult. You just need to ask. When you ask, it just instantaneously actualizes. So, okay, let's really, and from this gratitude space, when there is gratitude, nothing is wrong. And from the gratitude space, what can we really acknowledge of us? What haven't you acknowledged of you that if you will acknowledge, it will give you a totally different reality? And everything, the reason everything doesn't allow us to be, know, perceive, and receive all of that, will we destroy and create? Right, wrong, good and bad, pot, online, shorts, boys and beyond. And if you have any question, I'm here, guys. I don't see the question in the chat. I'm not seeing. Oh, thank you, guys. You are commenting. I'm not good enough yet to look at this chat constantly. Now I'm like, yeah. And thank you so much all. So, and yesterday, for instance, I was doing some administration things, and literally I was freaking out about everything. About the organization of the job, what I was missing to do, or if you don't know, I'm the worldwide coordinator of Access, so we were looking at event. I mean, it's been all of that, and then my money situation and my like everything. I was freaking out, and I've been so vulnerable to just look at the Mark, and I look at him. I'm like, you know what? Your daughter is coming in 2 hours. I thought she was coming actually less than 2 hours to stay with us 2 days. I'm not the best people to welcome. I actually need to change this. And the willingness to say, I need to change this, and who does this belong to? And really being willing to, I had, you know, when you have the choices, stay in that state of and space of being worried, being not happy, and complain about everything. That's a choice of the space, but you can choose something else. And as soon as I asked for that, I was like, something just shifted. There's me like, what I say, okay, what action can I be here? And then one choice, and another choice, another choice. Very little one. There was just maybe pouring myself a glass of water with ice, or but the willingness as well to ask for a contribution to someone else without waiting for him to tell me what to do. So how many times we get the sense that we have to be and do everything by ourselves, and we don't have to be the vulnerability of let us and who is around us know what is going on. Doesn't make sense. Like the fact that we need to do everything by ourselves. And then suddenly it's not that my bank account from yesterday actually growed yet, but then action by action, I actually remind myself what is the fuel that actually creates my life. Is the joy, right? I have in front of me Laurence, and like I know there is a lot of you guys, but Laurence is someone that I know since a long time. We both are Joy of Business facilitator. What does it mean? That we love having business. We love creating business with joy. But how many times we forget about it, and we got into that instead of, okay, what are the elements for me that really creates a different life and different living? So what are the elements for you guys? What are the elements for us that creates a different living? Anything. Might be joy, might be sex, might be happiness, right? Might be the caring energy. And when I talk about elements, I would really like to, and some of you probably might be new, some of you have been doing a little bit of access, but as well, like there is this amazing process in access consciousness that it's really like being willing to ask for the contribution of the elementals. And there is a tendency sometimes that we have these amazing processes and then we forgot about it because we move forward, right? But what are the elementals? So we actually just, yeah, so on the, how you call it, on the chemical, help in English, la tabella, 1 second.
What's the word?
Dove ci sono tutti gli elementali.
La tavola periodica degli elementi?
Exactly. The tab periodic of elementals in chemical, right? That's it. I think everyone translated and anyway. So I have my Italian translator, yeah. Anyway, so there is a part where there are some of them that are unknown, okay? And still science have to define what they are. And so in Access, we actually, was a couple of years ago, 2-3 years ago, and Gary got this awareness, Gary and Dane got this awareness how to really include the elementals, those elementals in our ask. And when you ask for the contribution of the elementals, you don't really have to be neither pathetic, neither at the point of view how the things show up. And if you are really in the interesting point of view of like just be willing to be the question without figuring out what the result will be, the elemental will contribute. And let me find the basic one. Seems like this morning I don't remember anything, huh? Element. Okay. No. Okay.
Can I help you to find something?
Yeah, I'm actually looking for a. Okay. Okay, I have it. I have the clearings. I want to put it on the chat. So translator will be fine with that, you know. Otherwise, they kill me because I. Okay. So what engage? Well, I can't wait to create a catalytic conversion. Of a different reality with total ease. Okay, here we go. I put it on the chat. So what engagement with the elementals can we be to create a catalytic conversion of a greater possibility of a different reality with total ease? And everything there is and everything that bring up, will it destroy and create? Right, wrong, good and bad, POC, POT, all natural, poison, beyonds. And it's truly like, so what is your, if you could ask for anything on 2021, or what would you ask? Not even 2021, if you could ask for anything, what if we don't have to define it? What if we don't have to define it as a next year? What if from now, what would you ask? Amanda say yes, gratitude. We actually during the thing, yeah, we got it. And gratitude is one of the elementals. Joy is the other one. Allowance is another one. I remember Gary saying that it's funny because now during classes, it talks about it. And by the beginning it was like, don't tell people what they are because they will make it so much significant. But gratitude is one of them. Joy, allowance, happiness, ease. So it's actually, and more we talk about the things, how are we all lighting up? There is a sense of peace that just mentioning those, it does create in us. I mean, I could perceive it for you guys, but I perceive it for myself too. So I know we love struggle, and we still love a little bit of a drama and all of that. It's so lovely. I know we feel so real with our limitation, our drama and the story, and it's fine. As soon as you, for me, it's like, okay, if you're having fun with that, do it. Don't judge you. And what if you can choose any second of your life just asking for more ease, including gratitude, joys, happiness, glory in a second? Because everything, all of those are available to us, and it's any all the time. So how much more ease, joy, glory, gratitude, and allowance, and more can we invite in our life that we haven't before? Another thing, last night I've been awake until very late, and if you have any question, please let me know. Just
yes, we would have one from the Italians. We have one from Emilia. It's in the chat, and she's asking, trust in myself and in the universe? Is that a question? È una domanda.
It's a question.
It is a question.
So basically the question is the trust in myself and in the universe. Those things goes together. If you trust you, The universe is there to support you, no matter what you choose. But universe doesn't have any point of view of what you have to choose. If you choose tomorrow, you know what? I'm going to swim without any cage on the with white sharks in the ocean, and there is a high possibility that you will be killed by them. Universe will not stop you. Will actually support you to make this happen. So whatever you ask, the universe is there. It doesn't, it's not about that, but you need to trust in you, and then be with the trust as well that the universe will. For me, it's more like, instead of you, what I will say, trust in you, trust in universe, and trust if you have consciousness back, consciousness will have your back. And you can have consciousness back if you have your own back. So everywhere because also in this case, how much we have been trusting more something outside of us or greater of us, instead of really concentrating here in our being. Because every time we trust more something outside of us, we make ourselves smaller. So everywhere we have been, trust something greater outside of us, more than more than us, will it destroy and create and let it go? Well, like let it go. Don't bring it within you, here with you. Will it destroy and create all that? Right, wrong, good and bad, pop on, nice, surprise and beyonds. Show me more possibility to more. Yeah, you can ask you, of course, like when I start access to really understand what the universe was, because the universe is the infinite possibilities, right? Universe is infinite. And I was very religious. So for me, like the universe, talking with the universe was just like before I was mainly talking all the time with Jesus. And I still love Jesus, but I don't talk with him as much now anymore. I don't talk with him anymore. So there is whatever works for you. But every time you make that thing bigger than you, that doesn't work. It's also, okay, let's speak at this example. Every time we ask for what else is possible, okay? And please, this is really the age of asking more and more and more, what else is possible? Without having a point of view of what has to be possible. So in the creation of wealth class, Gary literally nailed it in a way that I never heard before. And it was a class a few months ago. And he said about how many times we ask what else is possible, and we already have the point of view of what has to be possible. Or we already judging the situation based on, oh, well, what else is possible here? Is it really being the question of what else is possible? But he say, if you ask what else is possible, like what are the infinite possibilities here, it's there that you allow the universe to surprise you and show you really what the infinite possibilities are. But everything starts from you. But if you ask what else is possible and you already define what has to be possible, the universe doesn't even have any space to show you infinite possibilities. Does it make sense? It's really subtle. And you know when you are doing that thing about what else is possible that you already define it, or you are judging the situation, or you're like, you say it because you have to say it, because when I hear Gary saying that, I'm like, you're correct. I'm like, wow. So it's more like what energy you be in your question. Because being the question, it's like You be the question. You are the question. If you, and be the question is truly constantly never go to conclusion. And even when you go into conclusion, realize it and say, okay, if I was being totally the question here, what would I choose? This guy, don't judge you. Happen often to get back on conclusion, but it's also for us a muscle to recognize it and be willing to constantly be in the question. That increase that trust that we were talking before. What do you say? Can you talk about being congruent with your ask? Like bringing ourselves to what we are asking or getting clear on what is that we truly desire, but something seems missing there. What else? Okay, so I will say, so Orna here is asking, can you talk about being congruent with your ask? Okay. First, there is a few questions here that there is a lot of it. There are a few things to look at that question, but it's one of the things I noticed that most of the people have difficulty of, and they most of the time they phrase is when we ask them, or they've been asked, what do you desire? What is the future you desire? Tell me what you want to choose. People don't, most of the time, don't really have an answer, right? Like how many, I felt this so many times because I didn't really have a logical answer of what was the future I desired to create. And I was hearing other people and they were all like having this amazing answer about this amazing proposal for the future. I'm like, And at one point I was listening to Gary today and I learned from him as well, doesn't have to have words. And you don't have to visualize either what you really desire as your future. You keep asking, if you don't have clarity on it, there is an energy that when you ask, what is the future I really desire to create? And you can say, okay, you can ask, where would I like to live? What job would I like to have? Which house would I like to, to live in? What's the, ask, okay, what is the humidity of the air around me I'd like to have? And then that's also an energetic thing that you ask those questions to be aware of the energy and stay there for a sec. Then, okay, if I could be and create anything in the future, what would that be? If you ask me now, I don't really have an answer like telling you, oh, I want to create 100,000 things like this and blah, 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 like that. I'd like to have a word of diversity, a word that welcome diversity. People that literally know that gives to the ones that are struggling, but not just because they want a gift, not because they want to prove something, right? And why I say like the word of diversity, because we really like our difference is our brilliance for me. And we have been fighting against each other for century, for our diversities and our differences. So I'm like, this is the time that something different comes up. So, but that doesn't really make, if I tell you, okay, that's the future I desire to have, does it give me an answer where I want to live? Does it give me an answer where what my job will be? No, exactly. But in the choices I'm making every day, even when I go and buy a piece of bread, that's an energy that is with me when we are creating classes for access consciousness or stuff. So, and to coming back from your question about what is the future I desire to live and have, and your ask, being congruent as well. So if you ask, for instance, that you want to have nicer clothes in your wardrobe, right? I'm really making it something very, very basic. You need to start looking at different shops. Doesn't mean that you're going to buy them, but there is a congruence of an energy that if you ask for that, what if you start looking at that and not waiting that it will come, like, you know, from like you still wearing very bad things. You don't even look at the magazine of and different clothes or shops or online stuff. You just like avoid it. You ask it, but you avoid it, and then sooner or later it will come. It's just like it's a sort of what if that ask, but you keep being the ask until things will show up, and will show up in a way that you never thought. I hope it helped, Anna. Like also with the money thing, people are asking to have more money and everything, but how much in our daily basis we are refusing money? We are refusing money because we think, yes, I want to have a billion in my bank account. And then if someone is gifting you a coffee, you refuse it, or you are not willing to be the energy of money because you are afraid of to be judged, or there is this this, how you say, like we ask for things and then we are not congruent with our ask. What if you ask something and that ask is just the beginning, but can be developed? It's just more like, for me, asking has been always training myself to something greater. I remember as soon as I start Access, at the beginning of starting Access, I was weekly trading bars with Susan Proctor, and now she's translating me. Thank you, Susan. And I remember one day I was running my bars and I asked, okay, she was always asking, if you could have anything from this, what would it be? And I'm like, you know what? I like to travel the world, now making money, travel the world, and changing people's life. After 5-6 years, when I was back and forth in basically jumping from one plane, staying in an hotel, jumping another plane, another city, and I was in no stop, I remember the ask. I'm like, wow. I was like, I didn't know this would have showed up like that. I would, if I would have planned for that, that would have been, I would have destroyed everything. And when things showed up at that time, they allowed me to travel more. Or to do that, I've been willing to be and do anything for that. So there is also, like, you know, the congruency of, if I would have asked for that, then I know I hate doing my suitcases. I hate going away. You know, how adventure can you be in your life? That's my thing. Like, how can you really leap and jump and leap? I think there is another question about, Ricky, I always think I deserve nothing. I see things that I think this is not for me. And when I finally accept it, I lose everything. What I'm not realizing. Okay, so What do you mean when I finally accept I lose everything?
I talk here.
Yes.
Okay. When I everything I refuse the things, especially when something good happened with me, and I don't accept it. I think, oh my God, this is not to me, and I start to judge the things because I don't like. It's not because I don't like. It's because I don't accept this. And when I accept some things, I think, oh, this is for me. I'm so happy now. I lose anything. I lost anything. So I don't understand if I create my reality before or something's wrong. Though.
So I don't know if I really understand completely, but I was really. So there is a thing, there is an energy, because then you say, I always think I deserve nothing.
Yeah.
So if you have the point of view that you don't deserve anything or you deserve nothing, what's your purpose in life? It's basically to make that point of view right. So what does it mean then? If you have the point of view that you deserve anything, you don't deserve anything. Even when things show up to you that never showed up or happen, you create them, because everything that showed up in our life, we chose it and we created it. Just like the statement, nothing showed up to us, you know? Yeah. So it's not just, oh, that was by chance I was here. No, we create the situation for that to happen. Anything, good, bad. So if you have that, how much energy you need to use against yourself and against anything that, and anything that actually, anything good, as you say, that showed up in your life to prove that you don't deserve it. So whatever that brought up, will it destroy and uncreate? Yeah. Right, wrong, good and bad, POC, POD, ownership, boys and beyond. So I don't think it's just a Ricardo question. How many of us in the deepest, we actually get the point of view that we don't deserve?
Yeah, this is like more or less. So when I have some things good for me, I don't receive and then say, oh, this is not for me. This is too much. This is a lot. So
and in that moment, are you trying to destroy it? What are you doing? And I know Ricardo, so sorry, I'm a bit direct with it. But so what actually truly, what is your way of being in that case? Do you destroy it? What do you do?
Well, I think I destroy everything, but when I arrive in the final, I start to accept the things. I think, oh my God, no, this is for me. I'm so happy now, la 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 la. And then
it's gone.
The things going, and I lost everything. And some things in my head told me, I told you this is not for you. You don't believe me. Some things, I don't know, some entities, maybe, I don't know. And it's very strange because I have this everything I have facilitated a lot of facilitated to take everything I want, but I have more facilitated to put out, and this is very I want to finish that because it is very uncomfortable to me now. And
what do you mean? Yeah.
What is wrong?
What do you mean put it out?
Well, I want to finish this. I want to, when I found that something good to me, I want to say, okay, this is good for me. I receive, but cool. Not judge this situation before. No, say,
okay.
This is not to me. But
I love you because whenever, like, I love you because if you are looking at this, means that you are already changing it, Ricardo. So it's also like you being willing to say, you know what, now I'm bored. That doesn't have to happen to me anymore. I really desire to, this had to change, right? That's the way you be at the moment, right? So if I'm asking you, is already changing, what do you get?
I'm gonna change it.
Yeah, is already changing, yes or no?
Yes.
And it's your choice. It's your constant choice to be so brutally honest with you. I'm a cunt. I've been a cunt here. Okay. I've been an asshole here. Good. What can I be to change it? But it's not based on the judgment of you and to torture you. I've been bad. No. Being honest with you, it's the space that we can be to literally, and I know the meaning, change anything. That's the only way. Because when you really are willing to tell yourself the truth of anything, there is no other lies. There is no more lies that can stay there. And who cares if someone is judging you? And if you have been hurt someone else, you can always say, hey, I'm sorry. I literally just realized now what happened.
Yeah, I destroy everything I have. Now I want to start the New Year's different. It's like create for me my kind of more. I want a more generosity to myself, and for this,
Sure.
in this New Year's, I don't want this more. For this is ask you. Thank you so much.
No, thank you. Well, let's start now. That's a
Yeah.
new year today, right?
Yeah.
Don't wait until what days in 2-3 days. Yeah.
Thank you.
I'll call you later, by the way. Okay.
Okay.
You
Thank
need
you.
to look at. Thank you. Good. Great. I think there is anything else. Every time. Any other question or stuff you have been saying? No. Okay. Okay. I'm just looking through them. Yeah. Very, very. Thank you. Thank you very much, Ricardo, as well. Truly, I love it because it's true. Like, yeah. And thank you for bringing this up because the fact that we can be totally honest with us no matter what, and how what greater things can we be and create with that. Susan say, what if today is the first day of your life? Yeah, what would you choose? Yeah, living in the 10-second increments, it's also like, what if you had the last 10 seconds of living in your life? What would you choose? Because we need to die, but it's really like the willingness to choose, because whatever you choose today, it will create a future in 10 years time. That's what Gary was saying. I'm like, what do you mean in 10 years time? And it took me a little while to get it. But then after 10 years, I got the sense that that question I asked in the bar session that I was just mentioning, and all the little choices I made after that created the life I have now. And sometimes you have to wait 10 years. It's not the wait, but what action? And action is really action / question. Can you be today that will create the future you really desire? And everything that doesn't allow you to perceive, know, be, and receive the future that you desire, and you think that you don't know what it is, will you destroy and create all of that? Right, wrong, good and bad, buck, bottle, nice, boys and beyonds. I don't want to swear, but I will have swear like this is not true. We know. What if our knowing it's something that is so different than anyone else? Because every time we go and look into compare how other people knowing is, or how other people perceive, or how other people receive, that's where we got into the judgment of us. What if there is no longer a reference point, and you are you have and be the unique way of be, perceive, know, and receive? Like, what if there's a time that we don't compare to anyone else and you trust you? That's like, what if this is the big new beginning? And if you're already doing that, great. What if we can amplify that 100 times? Good. Thank you so much. Truly. And it's truly our choice. There is nothing. And also acknowledging how much all of us desiring a different future, desire a different life, desire a different life, and living in this planet and a different future for this planet too. Just the question, and that even if you think you are not doing anything, even if you think, oh, I'm not donating money to this, but just being the question, and for a different life in this planet Earth, how things are changing. We are more potent than what we think. And I grew up in a way, say, oh, you know what? One person can't change the world. That's a lie that I had to really acknowledge. One person can change the world. Because we, as Dane said, and like, we are the drop in the ocean, but at the same time, we are the ocean. So if we be something different and we choose something different, also the ocean is changing. We might not ever seen the changes. We might not ever seen what have been changing, but we be. And if you actually listen to it and be willing to receive it, you will notice that you are being the difference. I did too, in so many little things. So that's it. Thank you so much for everyone. I'm so grateful. Yay! My God, I can't wait to see you all. I'm so grateful. Thank you. I want to cry now, gratitude. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. I want to thank Amanda for being so brilliant and supporting me all the time. Thank you, Fabiola, for really supporting me as well. It's so brilliant and always like, yeah, let's do it together. Wesley, that is always like willing to do, and talking about people working with me. Well, it's Wesley to do everything in the website and everything, put it up. Yes, do it. He's working. Teresa as well. Thank you so much. All the translators and people that are here asking maybe 12 hours ago, can you translate this? Of course. There is a level of gratitude, and all of you guys that are here and the one, because during the last 8-9 years, I've been meeting so many people, and now we actually literally don't really meet so many people anymore because we are so far, will change. But if I look at your faces, and you can do the same, there's been an exchange that, little or big there was, you have been contributing to my life. And even if I didn't meet you in person, so just seeing, so what if also the way that we acknowledge the contribution, even if you think it's so little, that we have been for each other, and we could also be in the future for each other, how much greater our life could be. So I'm talking because otherwise I will cry, but I'm super grateful. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Yes.
Thank you, Francesca.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm
Thank
so
you
honored
so much,
that so many
Franci.
of you are here. Thank you.
Thank
Grazie, Franci.
Really.
Grazie.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bacio, bacio,
How
bacio,
much fun
bacio.
we had.
Thank you,
Mwah.
Francesca.
Grazie,
Terima
gracias.
kasih.
Thank you, merci. Arigato.
Gracias.
Arrivederci.
Merci.
Thank you.
Gracias,
Dankeschön.
Francesca.
Gracias, gracias. Mwah, mwah.
Ciao, bellissima.
Tesoros. Ciao, grazie.
Ciao.
Ciao, bye bye.
Ciao.
Ciao, ciao.
Ciao.
Yay! 2021. What else is possible? Mwah. And remember, tomorrow there is the ESC with Day. Okay? Don't miss it. Check your email.
Oh no, I wouldn't miss it. Thank you.
In 24 hours and 38 seconds from now.
Yes.
Yay!
Yeah. Thank you.
Oh,
Bacino.
guys.
Ciao.
Bacinos. And at the beginning of the year, there is also the call with Gary and Dane, but you will get all the information. It's great. Thank you so much. Mwah! Love you. Thank you. Ciao.
Ciao.
I'm ending now. Ciao.